Welcome to the second episode of the 5th season of the Realistic RTG. We're going to end the transfer window today, at least that's the intention, unless there's anything else that needs your attention between now and the end of the season, or end of the window, sorry, should I say. Forgiveness requested in advance. I am unwell. Bunged up, headache, fuzzy behind the eyes, usual sort of head cold type stuff, so I'm not going to be quite so woo as I usually am. So do forgive me for that and any snotty snuffliness that you may encounter throughout the course of today's episode. I'll try and edit as much of it out as I possibly can. The main port of call for you in the first episode was to decide upon which new centre-back we were going to bring to the club. We gave you mainly two real options, one of which is based in the UK already, in England. Ben Nelson at Leicester, recently relegated from the league above in the Premier League down to the Championship, is 5th or 6th choice at Leicester. We kind of found him by looking through the league at players in that position. However, organically through the save, on the transfer list was Luka Hiralainen. A CDM, but 6'6", would be very suited to centre-back, and without any shadow of a doubt, was absolutely the most popular with you guys in the comments section. So Luka Hiralainen is going to be the one that we look to bring in, and hopefully he will join us. I mean, it says you get a chance for 1,750. I don't think we'll get him that cheap, but certainly we could get him for well under valuation, I think. I'll offer 2.2, and they want 2.8 plus a 10% sell-on clause, so they are being a little bit more punchy than I expected them to be. But 2.5 plus a sell-on clause of 10% is fine by me. And it looks like they'll be willing to accept that. So we're kind of using the whole fantasy storyline of our own current Finnish goalkeeper, Lucas Bergström, being instrumental in bringing Luka to the club. He's currently on £18,000 a week at Hoffenheim. I would expect him to take a little bit of a drop in that. He's quite happy to have Crucial, that's not a problem. A 5-year deal. Whoa. 3 years would be ideal. He's probably going to want 4 as a minimum, isn't he? So we'll offer him 4. He will accept 4. 4 will do. No release clause suits me down to the ground. And, well, I would like to give him a little bit of a wage cut. If he'll take 14.5 grand a week, then I'd be very happy. Guess who's very happy? Me and Luka. Coming from Germany. Coming from Finland via Germany to Bradford on £14,500 a week to start in our defence. Luka Hiralainen, welcome to Bradford. After a draw on opening day against that formation, we might fancy ourselves here. Daniel Bachmann in goal for Watford. Matty Pollock, Santiago Sosa and Ryan Porteous at the back for them. Then in a very advanced midfield four, Vata, Pierre Duomo, Imran Loza and Sergi Canos. Then in 2 deep cams, Chekvikadze and Mamadou Doumbia. And then an isolated striker with Mileta Rajovic. Really strange team. They got an 78 rated Maitland-Niles on the bench. 76 rated Alex Moreira, who's a youth prospect. They've got a few youth prospects actually on the bench, including Sergio Prieto, who's 75. But our starting lineup has one new name in it and one big human being. 6'6", Luka Hiralainen is in and starting for the first time. 8 weeks is what it's going to take to retrain him. And a little bit of miscellaneous news for you since giving him the captain's armband, and it was one of the most thumbs up comments in the last episode. We have given Cameron Brannigan a 20% pay rise as he's now our captain. We could have marked that immediately with a goal. Luka Hiralainen wins his first header, which is lovely. I see Coburn making a good run here. Flick that on. Coburn not quite up to speed. Their backline is mysterious in terms of its positioning and decision making based on the opening 6 minutes. We might have a field day here. Matt Grimes forward to Tommy Lee. Just give it to Grimes again. Back to Tommy Lee, little 1-2. There's the run from Cameron Brannigan, and in there to Josh Coburn, who's not quite hit the ground running yet so far this season. Obviously, it's only game 2, so we're not going to judge him too early. And obviously, he did have a very good final 6 months of the last season last year. We're 1-0 down, however. Their striker might be isolated, but sent through one-on-one. He will bury 1-0 Hornets. Well in, Cameron. Quickly inside. Coburn, Tommy Lee, Kieran Bowie. Want to get back on his left if I can. Tommy Lee maybe on his right. Good block by Sosa. I mean, other than their goal, it's been all Bradford pressure in the opening 15 minutes or so. But we can't score yet. I do say yet. 5 shots already, all of which, unfortunately, off target. Rocco Vata inside to check for Tadze. Rajovic, runners beyond him. Right. So Watford have had 2 shots. And Watford have scored 2 goals. Okay. Good. Boos from the home fans. A little bit uncalled for, I think. Little back heel from Loser. Little back heel from the next player too. Forward we come though. I do like the fact that with the target man, the striker sits a little deeper just when you're out of possession, so that he's an easy out when you win it back. But then he's slightly further up the field when play develops. Well in. Having to fight hard for this, but having to fight hard for everything at the minute. And Watford are standing firm. This is annoying, because we've absolutely bossed them all game. Still don't feel like I deserve to be 2-0 down, but it might be 3. It is. What's happening, please? Tell me. I don't know. Right. If they can score 3.5, we can score 3.5. Tommy Lee to Kieran Bowie. We've seen that before. Just ask Huddersfield Town fans. 1.5 minutes. Tommy Lee to Kieran Bowie is something we know works. And we just proved it once more. Game on. Shakai Ford to Brannigan. Through the gap. Coburn through the gap. Oh, Bowie buries. Wow, what a finish. 6 minutes. 2 goals. If we keep this up, we'll win by 7. What a finish. Honestly, I thought I'd done a little bit too much to ask for that on his right foot. But he has dug that right into the top corner. Kieran Bowie is ridiculous. Buy him in your saves. 1-2. Vata towards the back post. Definitely got the height advantage there, Dumbia. Rajovic onside, but side netting. We say just because they scored 3.5 means we can too. But just because they scored 3.5 doesn't mean they can't score 3.5 again, does it? We have to be wary at the back still. But the start to this half is how I envisaged the start. Lock onto the ball, please, Tommy. The start to this half is how I hoped the start to the first half would go. And to be fair, with the way we were creating chances, it's how the start to the first half could have gone. It just didn't. That's a lovely through ball. Dumbia. Bergstrom makes a save. Well done, mate. About time he did something in this game. Christ. Skips away well. Nicely done. All inside to Loser. Back to check for Tadze, and surely from here. Oh, he had to bury. He did have to bury, and he hasn't. All right, time this to Coburn. Oh, it's an important deflection. And we could have been in. We've got 2, but then it's slowed up a little bit. Can Kelvin come off the bench and offer us that little bit more? Willie to Kieran Bowie. Coburn. Equaliser. Let me just quickly cancel that substitution. Josh, you can stay on, mate. 3-3. Nice tackle by Diaby. Although the referee disagrees. Check for Tadze. Okay. It's Matty Pollock. Check for Tadze. We've got numbers forward. Quite literally across the line. But horizontally, not vertically. That's simultaneously this... What's a lovely run by Dumbia. Simultaneously the second and third time that Rajovic has hit the woodwork. Not that it matters, because Dumbia's movement is next level, and he's in behind, and we're 4-3 down. Tommy Lee. Brannigan saw the aggressive challenge coming, avoided it. Tommy Lee, Bowie, Coburn, 4-4. What is happening in this game of football? 4 all. 2 for Ivich, 2 for Dumbia, 2 for Coburn, 2 for Bowie. Ridiculous. As Godmon Boy says in chat, are you not entertained? Fatter. Brannigan intercepts well. Not a great ball looking for Coburn though. Rajovic, well in. Luka. He might have conceded 4 on debut, Luka Hiralainen. But he's not really put too much of a foot wrong, unless some of the running of Dumbia and positional sense of their strikers was highlighted by Hiralainen being out of position, as he's not quite adjusted to life being a centre-back yet. I don't know. Shakai Ford, quick dart inside. Look for Brannigan, drop the shoulder. Cameron Brannigan, our new captain. Tommy Lee. That is not Kieran Bowie. Oh my shit. A 4-4 draw then. Could have been 5. Game decided otherwise. 4 all then. We've come really not far at all from Valley Parade to Turf Moor. But they've quite the team, Burnley. Certainly going to be challenging at the top end of the table this season, you would imagine. They're 5th at the moment. Stefano Turati is their goalkeeper. They've got Nico Williams at right back. Cameron Carter-Vickers alongside Jordan Bayer, who's still at the club. And Lucas Pires at left back. Nicola Morrow alongside Billy Gilmore. Then Elias on the right. Hamey on the left. Christian Hlinson at cam, with Zeki Amdouni still at the club. Through the middle up top, Lyle Foster on the bench. Josh Cullen. Sambo Huntonji's. Wow, Huntonji. Oh no, he was out on loan, wasn't he? But he is actually a Burnley player. Hanno Masengo, Antonino Gallo, and Antonio Silveira as their backup goalkeeper. That is a hell of a squad for Burnley, and they will be certainly favourites, or one of the favourites, to go up to the Premier League next season, or back to the Premier League next season, as the case may be. We are unchanged. Don't really know what I do to change this side after a 4-4 draw. So hopefully we can score just as well, but defend slightly better. Brannigan, room to get into. Might as well move it out here and then look to come quickly inside. Forward's done well. That high agility working nicely for him. Looking for Bowie. Go back to Tommy Lee. And look for Kieran Bowie in behind again. And then Tommy Lee. And where's the... Oh, arriving Brannigan from the edge of the box was what I was waiting for. Here's Matt Grimes then instead. Lame. Actually, started off on target. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Zeki Amdouni. I love. Bambo decides he wants it. Bambo has it. Tommy Lee looking for Bowie. Poor ball, actually, as it happens. But not great from Lucas Pires either. Tommy Lee will get away from his man. Try and get him around the corner here. Tommy Lee could go for a worldie. They've backed off. If it was in the corner, maybe. But straight down the throat of the keeper. Not a bad effort, though. Make sure we get the fullback back in position before we switch player. And that's exactly why. Hlinson, Amdouni. He's gone for a worldie as well, but nobody scoring so far today. It had already been at least 2, if not maybe 3 goals by this point in the previous game. So nice to see that we're keeping our defensive solidity today, at least. Can we? Score a worldie with Cameron Brannigan, though. Turati's positioning is second to none at the minute. We're trying to put the ball in the corner, and he's barely having to move to just pluck it out of the air and make it look all far too easy in goal. They press hard and fast, Burnley. They've been very difficult to break on and get the ball around. But we have had a couple of good chances. They surely will run themselves dry soon if they keep sprinting at this rate. I mean, if Amdouni's just going to sprint full pelt all the way out here, then surely, at some point, they're just going to run out of energy. Elias down the line. Mitai trying to deal with it. Can't. Bambo Diaby coming across. Bergstrom with a save. Burnley's first chance. And real test of Lucas Bergstrom. A test that he passes. That is not a great pass. That gap closed very quickly indeed. That gap opened as Lucas Stevenson was deeper than he should have been. And we will just get rid of it this time, please. Well up, Josh. We won't find him yet. Just a little bit of space and time on the ball is what I'd like in and around the final third. But we haven't been so lucky yet is to have it. Good footwork from Ford though. And here's Tommy Lee in a bit of space. Space quickly closed down by a defender, playing a good block on the shot. Burnley are really disciplined and efficient at the way that they move the ball around and then position themselves out of possession as well. They're just really good. Bergstrom with the save. It couldn't have fallen kinder for Elias. Burnley 1, Bradford 0. Tap in. Brannigan. Ford's gone again. He's got the legs. He's got to work the space. Find the pass. Coburn's waiting. There's Bowie. Equaliser. Right men in the right places at the right times. And Bradford will score goals. 1-1. We weren't behind for long. Coburn. Worth a go from range with a power effort. Turati makes the stop. Couple of changes. Try and keep things alive for us. Kelvin on up top at striker now. Who arrived. No, it was Bamba Diaby that arrived with a header, but that's gone well over the top of the bar. Lovely ball into Hamey. There's a man free at the back post. Here's Zeki Amdouni still. Big, strong save by a big, strong man. Lucas Bergstrom. He's got to be strong to hold up Bamba Diaby. Still 10 minutes to go. Plus. So to have that animation this early on in the game shows how important the save everybody feels that was. Morrow into Amdouni. Options for him. One of which is to just take it on himself. Bergstrom in the way again. Elias. Gallo into the middle. Bambo's up. Shaq's there. It's not cleared well. And Amdouni very nearly scores a winner late on with the last action of the game, quite literally. Well, should have been anyway. Hold your breath. Hamey delivers. Mittai's up well. That will be game then. Well, last year we wanted to average a point a game. We slightly edged that and scored a little bit more. So far this season, we are averaging a point a game. 3 games in the Championship, 3 draws in the Championship, 6 goals scored, 6 goals conceded. Not 3 2-2s, 2 1-1s, and a 4-4. Yeah. Didn't see that coming. Norwich next in the Carabao Cup. Right, Norwich in the Cup we will sim, because we're not really that fussed about the Carabao Cup. Obviously, we'd love to go on an FA Cup run, but the Carabao Cup is just not our concern at this stage. It's more of a distraction than anything else. Reyes, Stacey and Soki, Adebayoga, Chrisene, Sørensen, Randall, Chapman, Forson, Sargent, Miles is their lineup. They very nearly take the lead inside 3 minutes. So you've seen the changes that I've made on the left-hand side as well. This could be quite the break, actually. It could have been, isn't. Then they've scored anyway. We're yet to have a shot, as you can see. After half an hour, it's been all Norwich, as is the scoreline now. Oh, free kick in a very good position. I'm going to jump in and have this one. This is Cameron Brannigan territory. Thank you very much. Right. Ready, steady. In off the bar. Never mind, who needs the bar? That's why we gave him a 20% pay rise. That's why he's our new captain. That's why he was team of the season last year. The man is just a baller. 1-1. I love Cam Brannigan. I really do. It's going to be pens by the looks of things. So I'll jump in. Yikes. To make sure that I can take control of the penalties. But I'm going to have to make sure we don't... Oh my God, can you imagine? He's done me. He's put it wide. I thought I was going to take over with a view of doing the penalties to immediately concede and have us not make it to penalties. It is to be penalties in the League Cup against Norwich. And obviously, we'll take those ourselves. No point changing the order. It is what it is. Mr. Brannigan to go first. That's what he does. Josh Sargent. He's pretty good. I think we've saved a Josh Sargent pen before. I'm not saving that one, though. Kelvin. I'm going to go bottom right. Might be a bit of a brave call. Oh, it was a brave call. Keeper guessed it, but didn't get there. Adam Randall. He's going to go the same way. No, he's not. 2-2. Tommy Lee. Roof of net. Smash it. There you go. Advantage Bradford. Hell of a pen. Never mind. 3-3. Lyndon Goot is our fourth penalty taker. And he's buried it well. Forson, who could have won it late on in the game, might have just lost it in the penalty shootout. Matt Grimes, the man who's retiring at the end of the season, against Vinny Reyes. Matty Grimes sends us through to the next round of the Carabao Cup with a great penalty. Cameron Brannigan's free kick, deserving. We draw again, but at the same time we win. Hooray! We do indeed have Aston Villa in the next round of the Cup. I think I might have to play that one against Premier League opposition. Bournemouth as well, side just down from the league above. To make a decision as to what games we play in September, but we know we're going to be simulating this one against Millwall. So, unless we get Cameron Brannigan free kick opportunity again, that is. Right, come on then. Tommy Lee's up to 75. Stevenson's up to 73. Bowie's up to 74. And Ford's up to 74. Growth going well so far this year. Truman, Kennedy, Grant, Clark, Salter, Wallace, Mitchell, Leopold, Aziz, Mayor, McDonald, Fleming. And that's unbelievable by Shakai Ford, who's still going. And then we lose it. Shoot! Oh, we did! Kieran Bowie! 1-0 Bradford City. Hell of a run by Ford, initially, to set up the forward positioning. And then Kieran Bowie's left foot does it again. We lead against Millwall. Could we potentially win our first game of the season today? Nearly 1-1. Thank you, Mr. Bergstrom. Great ball. Great header. Good goal, Millwall. It's 1-1. We are draw specialists so far this season in all competitions. Why he's run all the way over there, I've no idea. That's what baffles me about the AI as well. He's through one-on-one, and rather than run directly at goal, he's run towards the corner flag. All right, pal. That makes sense, doesn't it? Coburn. It's a good finish. Zion Fleming works it onto his left foot. We might be losing our first game of the day today and of the season. Millwall have the advantage at Valley Parade. Kieran Bowie is trying his best to ensure that we do still get our point. Has to be now. It is not. Millwall 2. Zion Fleming 2. Bradford City 1. We are bested for the first time this season. Comes against the side who we nabbed a player from in their left back. Kelvin is improving. Good. Keep it up, sir. 7 weeks as a false 9. Let's get you up to 74 rated, shall we, pal? That would be very nice indeed. 3 players going away on deadline day. Going away on international duty as we approach deadline day. Biggest deal on deadline day so far. Gravenberg to Tottenham for £73.3 million from Liverpool. Conor Gallagher's moved to Atalanta. Jared Branthwaite has moved from Wolves to Brentford. Bergstrom, Hirolainen and Bowie away on their international duty. We wait with bated breath to see if anything happens here with regards inbounds for our best players. Jelle de Hoog has moved from Breda to Wolves, one of the Patreon players. So that'll be added to the spreadsheet, which will update. A bid for Rory McCall from Derby. We wanted to sell Rory. Derby is a doable destination. I'm just going to accept it. Rory McCall was really solid for us in League One. He's just not got what it takes at Championship level, nor has he got the potential to really kick on, unfortunately. Jankovic, Villarreal to Inter Milan. Okay, Shutalo to Leeds. No other bigger deals at this stage. McCall gone. Wahi to Girona from Wolfsburg. Bye, Rory. Thanks for your service this season, pal. This season? Not this season. You haven't played. This save. Appreciate you, mate. More profit made from the youth academy, though. Let's head back to the squad tracker. Offer received for Clark Adore from Plymouth. A loan to buy? Absolutely not. Go away. Clark is one of the best squad players we've ever had in arguably any save. He's been ridiculously good for us, and he will stay, thank you. Whoa! I don't know who he's a regen of, but De Jong, 20 years of age, left wing, presumably Dutch, 160 million. From Arsenal to Bayern. Malik Tillman, from PSV to Palace as well, is now the second biggest deal on deadline day. And I am intrigued as to who the hell that De Jong is. So let's go and have a look at Bayern Munich. And let's go and have a look and see what his birthday is. Because that's ridiculous. El De Jong. Leon De Jong. Born October 12th. Ready? Footballers born October 12th. Let's have a look, shall we? Footballers born October 12th include nobody that I can see that he's actually a regen of. Is he just... He's just come through the youth academy somewhere and he's an absolute freaking baller. He's not a regen. That's rare. That's very, very rare. Let's have a look at him here. Players. Leon De Jong, wasn't it? Leon De Jong. 89 rated at 20 years of age with 93 potential. And he's not a regen. Or a pregen. It can't be Bazua. No way, it's not Bazua. Bazua's a left wing. Bazua's a centre back. It's a left wing pregen, Benny. It has. They have the same positions. Who the hell's that kid? That's outrageous. Unbelievable. That's outrageous. £160.6 million. Arsenal, why are you selling? Well, I guess £160.6 million. Why are you selling him? That's disgusting. If he was a regen of someone, he would share the birthday. That's how that works. So he's not a regen of anyone. He's just an absolute monster. Sudakov moves from Shakhtar to Real Madrid. We're surviving without bids for our best players. Again, I don't quite know how we're getting away with this. Lyndon Gooch. A bid for Lyndon Gooch from St. Louis City with a swap deal of Celio Pompeu. Now, I agree with you guys that Lyndon Gooch does have remarkably high wages for the role that he plays at the club. So let me have a quick look and see what free agent right-backs might be available. Or transfer listed, well, free agents probably at this stage. And maybe we can let Lyndon Gooch go and we might find ourselves a cheaper alternative at right-back. Bear with. Well, I couldn't find anyone in the free agents. And with 2 hours to go, in all honesty, I'm not even sure that it would go through in time. So I'm just going to reject it at this stage. If it had come with a few hours more to go, then maybe we could have contemplated it. Marmouche moves from AC Milan to Brentford for £61.3 million. There's some massive deals going through in this window, but none of them involving us. That's transfer deadline day done and dusted. We keep our best players. Of course, 1 second after the deadline finishes, Sheffield United bid for Bambo Diaby because that's just how career mode works. I can't really turn Sheffield United down for Bambo Diaby, can I? Not really. Not really at all. I've got to let him go. Bambo, we shall negotiate for you, sir. We love you. We'll miss you. but I can't deny you that step on in your career. If they'll pay 2.5, they can have him. They've upped to 1.8. They're willing to negotiate, it seems. It would suck to lose him, but I can't stand in his way. £1.8 million. Bambo Diaby looks like he may well be on his way to Sheffield United. At the beginning of the January transfer window, we shall make the most of him between now and then. But he might well be on his way. We're going to lose our Bambo number 5. Tears. Right, let me go and sort everything out and I'll give you a full transfer window roundup. Rather unsurprisingly, that deal for Leon de Jong was the biggest deal of the window, but actually only by about £10 million. As Emil Haas, a German centre-back, 90 rated at 21 years of age. These pre-gens are a little bit silly. £150 million to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have also re-signed Arda Güler from Arsenal for £124 million. What on earth is going on there? A buyback clause, maybe. Frankie Miller, an English striker, 87 rated from Man United to Real Sociedad. Matthijs Tel from Atletico Madrid to AC Milan. We saw that one, I think, actually. Did we? No. I'm thinking of Malik Tillman. Alexis McAllister, Liverpool to Leverkusen. Leverkusen have also signed Lautaro Martinez. There's the Malik Tillman one. Barrios to Liverpool, presumably to replace the outgoing McAllister. Sudakov to Real Madrid. We saw the Gravenberch one. Andre Santos from Bayern to Villarreal. Eduardo Ramos, Portuguese CDM and centre mid. Ruben Neves regen maybe. Al Hilal to Bayer Leverkusen. Tchouameni to Atleti, back to Madrid, but the other Madrid. Piero Hincapié to PSG. Peruvian CDM centre mid and centre back. Or is that Paraguay? Either or. Don't know who that's a regen of. Rasmus Højlund to Liverpool. Marmoush to Brentford. Hungarian striker Istvan Varga from Ferencváros to Man United. Okay. Conor Gallagher. Atleti to Atalanta. Baris Yilmaz. Or Yilmaz is pretty decent, isn't he? Dortmund to Juventus. Ben Seguir has gone from AC Milan to Valencia. Gabby Martinelli's back to the Premier League to Newcastle. Ryan Winter, Luton to Wolves, 86 rated centre-back. Miguel Gutierrez, Tottenham to Roma. Braithwaite we saw. Fratesi, Liverpool to Villa. Gabriel has gone to PSG. Vincent Kuhn, 85 rated goalkeeper, probably. Neuer region to Crystal Palace. Jonathan David to Sevilla. Bonny, Wahi to Girona. We saw Konate back to the Premier League to Arsenal. Christian Romero out of the Premier League to Juventus. Into the 40s and 50s now, 50s and 40s now. Ousmane Dembele to the Premier League, 45 million. Christian Pulisic moving within the Premier League. Jonathan Tah moving within the Premier League. Buonanotte to Everton. Abdul Fattah is very good, I'm sure. Gone to Bologna here for 44.4. Centre mid Cam CDM, Croatian. Brozovic? Maybe? Don't know, actually. Centre mid, Cam and CDM. Throws me a bit there. Regardless, they're the biggest deals of the transfer window all told. We might be about to lose. We are about to lose Bambo. There have been 19 transfers from the Patreon 77 of you. Will has gone to Mönchengladbach. Kai has moved to West Ham. Actually, no, that's not a good move. That's not a new move. That was done in the last window. Okay, there have been 18 transfers. Barcelona for Patrick, Bayer Leverkusen for Thomas, Real Madrid for Emmett, Dortmund main team for Dallas, Man United for Alex O'Sullivan, still on loan at Bohemian for Chris Hogan, Torino for Luca, and PSG for Adstart. Ads always ends up in France in every save. Normally at PSG, I think it's at Stade Rennais in the Journeyman save over on the second channel, of which there is a vote ongoing, by the way, for where I move next. So do go and check that link in the description to the second channel. Michael's still on loan at Shelbourne. Sevilla for Sam. Strasbourg for Justin. Atleti for David. Sassuolo for Shane. James has moved to Betty. Celta Vigo for Jasper, or Sean. Osasuna for Brandon to join up with someone else who's also at Osasuna, I think, somewhere else on the list, who's been there a little while Mallorca for Braden, Real Sociedad for Nick, and Wolves for Yella. That is all she wrote for that transfer window. Again, as ever, by all means, I'm going to remove Ahmed now, don't need you there. By all means, feel free to pause and have a closer look at your face stats, and if you want to have a look at your stats in closer detail, do come and join me on stream and I can show you them in real time. Thank you for your continued support in this in this realistic RTG save. We have a go-to replacement for the outgoing Bambo Diaby, because you guys were deciding between which two centre-backs I should get. Turns out we'll probably end up just buying Ben Nelson now, and we'll get both of them. Fair enough. Decision made. That's that one easily done, unless we make a different decision by the time we get to January, because we might be able to sign someone that's 75 rated, who we haven't been able to look at because our rating wasn't high enough at the beginning of this window. Maybe even 76, although it would have to be realistic, of course, just because we can sign someone 76 rated doesn't mean they might be someone that would realistically move that is of that rating. So we'll play it by ear. Maybe Ben Nelson, probably Ben Nelson, maybe someone else. We'll wait and see. That's all for today, though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll be live on stream over the weekend, so do come and join me tomorrow on Saturday. I'll be live right now, probably, as you see this on Friday too. But for now, for today, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you back here on the YouTube channel on Monday. Bye-bye.